podcasthero.com.
The Great News Podcast is brought to you by Podcast Hero. Head on over to podcasthero.com and learn the 4 P's of podcasting to start your own show. Tired of all the doom and gloom news from mainstream media? You'll get none of that here. Instead, you'll find inspiring stories and developments that are making the world a better place. Today on the Great News Podcast, a study finds children of LGBTQ couples are not developmentally disadvantaged. Recently approved diabetes drug can be used by people without diabetes for weight loss. And Weight Watchers pivots to a pharma-based solution to weight loss. An endangered bird missing for over 24 years discovered alive in the Madagascar forest. And a new discovery could lead to the ability to regenerate damaged heart muscle tissue. All that and more is available in this issue of the Great Newsletter. Go to www.greatnewspodcast.com and subscribe to the Great Newsletter, because the Great News Podcast is great, but the Great Newsletter is greater. A new study finds that children of LGBT couples are not developmentally disadvantaged compared to those raised by heterosexual couples. The study examined 34 studies published between 1989 and 2022 in countries where same-sex marriage was legal to identify disparities between LGBT and heterosexual parent families in relation to major family outcomes such as children's psychological adjustment, physical health, gender role behavior, gender identity, sexual orientation, and education outcomes. The analysis found that children raised by LGBT parents, especially preschool-age children, demonstrated better psychological adjustment than those raised by heterosexual parents. Additionally, the review indicated that LGBT parents were equal to heterosexual parents in terms of relationship satisfaction, mental health, parenting stress, and family functioning. Recently approved diabetes drug can be used by people without diabetes for weight loss. A new study published in the New England Journal of Medicine has found that people with obesity who were treated with the drug tirzepatide lost an average of 52 pounds, which was an average of 22.5% reduction in body weight. Tirzepatide was recently approved by the United States Food and Drug Administration for the treatment of diabetes. The new study tested the efficacy of tirzepatide as a treatment for obesity in non-diabetic patients. Quote, obesity should be treated like any other chronic disease, with effective and safe approaches that target underlying disease mechanisms. These results underscore that tirzepatide may be doing just that. Unquote. Ania Zasterbroth, MD, PhD, and lead author of the study. And, in a related story, Weight Watchers has pivoted to a pharma-based solution to weight loss. Weight Watchers is acquiring telehealth startup Sequence, which will allow its members to request anti-obesity medication alongside their monthly membership. The integration of medication into Weight Watchers' behavioral health system will begin after the deal is closed this spring, and will include a telehealth visit to discuss the medication, with Sequence's automated pre-approval process helping patients gain insurance coverage more quickly. Weight Watchers stock has struggled in recent years as critics have accused the company of promoting false hope that diet and exercise alone can lead to long-term results. And I always thought that's the way it was. But back in episode 2, we saw that microbiomes play a big part in the ability for people to lose weight. In that study, they colonized microbiomes from obese mice into skinny mice, and they gained weight, and vice versa. So it's more complicated than just diet and exercise. That's one thing we know for sure. A rare bird not seen for 24 years has been discovered alive in the forests of Madagascar. The dusky tetraca, a small ground-dwelling forest bird, was last seen documented in 1999. However, 3 individuals of the species have now been spotted, confirming it is alive. The sightings of the olive-colored bird with a yellow throat were made by 2 teams from the charity the Peregrine Fund. The expeditions were made into forests on high mountain slopes, as this is where most of the remaining wooded area are located, in Madagascar. Even though we're in a mass extinction event, there's a lot of good news stories in species that were thought to be extinct that are not, and a lot of conservation efforts that are proving to be working. More on that in later episodes. And finally, researchers have made a major breakthrough in cellular reprogramming and organ regeneration. Researchers at UNC School of Medicine have achieved a significant breakthrough in the process of regenerating organs and cellular reprogramming, which could have an impact on the development of future treatments for damaged hearts. The team reprogrammed scar tissue cells, or fibroblasts, into cardiomyocytes, or healthy heart muscle cells, using the gene activity-controlled protein ASCL1. While initially believed to be neuron-specific, ASCL1 was found to activate a set of cardiomyocyte genes. Quote, "Reprogramming fibroblasts has long been one of the important goals in the field. Fibroblasts' overactivity underlines many major diseases and conditions, including heart failure, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, liver disease, kidney disease, and other scar-like brain damage that occurs after strokes." Li Qian, PhD, an author of the study. The researchers combined ACSL1 with other transcript factor MEF2C, resulting in a potent reprogramming cocktail that increased the efficiency of reprogramming by over 10 times, with more than one targeted cell type able to benefit from major transcription factors used in direct cellular programming. This brings us a step closer to being able to regenerate organs and extend our lifespan, despite what would be catastrophic health events. And remember, all this and more is in the Great Newsletter. Head on over to greatnewspodcast.com and subscribe to the Great Newsletter, because the Great News Podcast is great, but the Great Newsletter is greater. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and I'll see you again in the next episode of the Great News Podcast.
Podcasthero.com